Hello and welcome to this video on full stack Python application and Azure deployment, but this is part 2. So in part 1, we worked with the UV workspaces to set up backend and frontend. So backend with FastAPI and then frontend with Streamlit. So that was all we did, and we used UV workspaces for that so that we could have a mono repo with 2 packages with separate PyProject.toml and separate installations in each of these packages so that we can Dockerize it in this video. So now we're in part 2, and this to recap, this is what we have. We have backend and API, and we want to Dockerize this. We have front-end Streamlit. We want to Dockerize it as well, and we want to make them talk to each other on this one, so that the front end can send requests back to backend and get data back to the front end via the Docker containers. So very cool. And this is the scope of this video, but in the next video, we'll go into deploying it. So we'll deploy this into Azure Container Registry, and then so the images live in Container Registry, and from this one, we'll spin up a backend container, Azure Container App for the backend, and Azure App Service for the front end. So very cool. So just to recap, this is the Streamlit app that we have created. We have here Pokedash so that we can see some graph here, some data here, and you can choose the Pokemon type here and different Pokemons here. So very cool. So this is the app that we have created. So I will just close this down. I don't need that anymore. I will shut down my end, Control C. I'll shut down my backend, Control C. So now if I, for example, update this one, you see I don't get anything, and that is what I want. So now it's time for us to Dockerize this. So to Dockerize this, we will open up Docker. So you need to open Docker. So for me, I will open a new terminal here where I'm in the root. So if I do Docker images, you can see I actually have this because I have prepared this before. So I'll just remove this. And you can see Docker images, I get these. So I can do like this. Docker RMI to remove images. And then I can use $sign to get the variable. So Docker images, so I get the output from this Docker images. And then I remove them, okay? Actually, RMI -F. Okay, let me see. Maybe that didn't work. So I'll just go into my Docker desktop and see. Yeah, I already deleted it, that's why. Okay, good. Docker volumes, I don't have anything. Image, I don't have anything. Containers, I don't have anything. Okay, good. This is totally clean. Okay, and now let me just make it. And Docker files. So here inside of Docker files, I will have touch Docker files, and I will have front end, comma, backend dot Docker file. So you can see backend and front end dot Docker file, code, Docker files. We can start with backend. Okay, and for the backend, let's do like this. So we need to have from. I'll allow that. From a base image. So a base image, I want to have Python, 3.13-slim. So it's a slim version of Python as the base image that we start from. And then I want to copy. What do I want to copy? I want to copy from source to destination. So source is from my host system, and my host system, I will pick backend here, okay? I'll pick to copy my backend folder. So that means everything inside of my backend folder. Into my destination, I will choose /app/. Okay, so I'll put it into folder called /app inside of my Docker container. And then run pip install. And so I'm running a command, and -no-tar and -dir. This means that I will not have a cache directory so that I don't need to bloat my image. UV, and then UV, not IV. Okay, and then, so I'm installing UV to my Docker container, and then I will do work dir. So I change my working directory to /app/backend. Okay, so what happens now? I'm changing my directory to /app/backend. So inside of the backend folder, what do I have there? Inside my backend folder, I should have my pyproject.toml. And if I have a pyproject.toml, what can I do? I can install all my packages inside of my pyproject.toml. And if you remember here, what do I have here? I just have UVcorn, FastAPI, and pandas. I don't have Streamlit because Streamlit is in my front end. So very cool. So I don't install unnecessary stuffs to my containers so that I don't need to bloat my containers. Okay, so separation of concern, very important. So run uv sync -no-dev. So for example, I have some dev, if I have some dev packages, for example, Flake 8, I could have black, rough, etc. And that won't get installed if they're marked with dev. So I'm installing my packages. So now it's time to change my working directory again. And I'm going into /app. And inside of my /app, what will I have? I will have my, let me just think a little bit. /app, I will send in my backend. I will actually /app. Because I send in everything here, I don't need to have /backend here actually. I will just have, because I send in everything from my backend folder. So actually this is more correct. Yeah, I go into the root of my app and then I run uv sync and then I go into my /app/src. So I'm inside of this folder here. And inside there, I have a backend, right? So I have /backend here. Yes. And now when I'm inside of this backend, I will see my API. So then I can create my command. So command uv, run, UVcorn, API :app, -host. This is very important. 0.0. Why do I do this? Because 0.0 is an address that will bind to the local host of my host computer, and it will bind to my home Wi-Fi. So basically, what it means is that I can access from my host machine, otherwise stuck in the local host of my Docker container. Okay, that's why I need to have 0.0.0. Okay, save this one. And then I will need to have a Docker Compose as well. So I will create code docker-compose.yaml. And Docker Compose is in the root folder. And here we'll have services. And we'll have the backend, and we'll also have a front end, of course, but that will be later. Container name, backend, and we'll have build. Okay, how is it built? The context is dot. That means in this folder. So we'll see everything from the perspective of this folder. And from this folder, you can see this Docker file, backend.docker file, by going into Docker files, right? So Docker files /backend.docker file. And then we need to do port mapping. So we need to port map 8000:8000. That means we're port mapping the 8000 inside of our container to our host machine. Okay, so now just run docker compose app-d. And it's building this one. And I will wait until it's finished. Okay, it's finished. I'll open up Docker, and you can see Azure FastAPI Streamlit Part 2. And you can see my backend is up and running. So let's just go in and check. So to check this, you could do it like this, rerun this one, and we get the data. Cool. But you can also, if you didn't have this, you could just curl it. That will work as well. And you get the data here. Very cool. The backend is working really nicely. And now it's time for our front end. And basically it's similar to our backend. So I'll go to the backend, I'll copy this one, go into front end, paste it in, and just change this one from backend to, I do Command D. So I can change this one to front end. Very cool. So now copy front end to my app. And then I want to do, let me see. Yeah, exactly. And then I install my UV. I go into this /app. And inside of /app, I run uvsync --nodev to install the things in my front end. And then I go into /app/source/front end. And I will be able to do UV run Streamlit run, comma, dashboard.py, right? Let's see. Yeah, I could do this. Yeah, I think we actually don't need this, but we'll find out. Okay, let's go into, let's try. Yeah, we need to go into Docker Compose, right? So Docker Compose, similarly here, let's create my front end, container name, front end, and here build context dot docker file, similar as before, front end dot docker file. Okay, and then ports mapping, we need to ports map 8501:8501. Okay, and then run this one, docker compose up -d localhost 8501. Yeah, it's not finished yet. Okay, Streamlit is running, but I get an error here. Why do I get that? It says connection refused. Okay, so the issue is that if you take a look into my front end here, dashboard, the base URL is the localhost, but it's a container now. So now we go into the localhost of the container itself. That's bad. We need to be able to connect to our backend container. And our backend container, if you take a look here, the service is called backend. So what you need to do here is actually have an environment. So environment, backend, let's see, :// backend, 8000. Okay, so this is an environment variable that we set when we do Docker Compose up. And when we do this environment variable, backend URL, is inside of the container. And if it is inside of the container, then we can access it. So how to access this? We need to do import OS, and then we do os.get-env. And this can be the default so that we can work with this locally as well. But to get it, we do backend_URL. And to make sure that we actually get what we want, we do st.write base URL to C. Okay. And to rerun this one, you do docker compose up -d -build. Okay. So forces it to rebuild. So that means that if it has this backend URL, it will pick this backend URL, which is http://backend:8000, instead of this one. This is the default one in case this one doesn't exist. Okay, now let's see. Pokedash. It works, and you can see this is http://backend:8000 now. This works. Very cool. Oh, wow. We have managed to Dockerize this correctly. So we have a Docker Compose file, Docker Compose YAML, with two services, backend service and frontend service. They have their own installations, so we don't bloat the images or the containers. So this is really cool. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one where we'll deploy this to Azure.